what you want to do is, while we're doing this, luckily enough, I have this little tool that you put on the front of the motor here, and this tells you what valve to adjust.
Okay.
And now we're going to go to 3E exhaust. So we put that right there. Now it puts the camera at the very bottom. So, and then we go over to number 3 exhaust, which is this one right here.
Right.
And we find ourselves a valve that we like.
Does this have sound?
And then we put a little secret sauce on it. And we put the guide down in the number 3. And let it just sit in there like that. And now we put a little lapping compound on the valve.
I knew he was hot stuff, but I didn't know he was a movie
Lapping
star.
compound on it.
Might help lubricate the valve.
Okay, what we're doing now is we lap in the valve. And the reason why we do that, we want to make sure that the valve is having a good seat on the and then we take it out. And we wipe it off. And then we look at the valve, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that the valve is riding right in the middle of the seat. There's a little mark here. We'll show the lapping compound. And there's a little bit of margin there and a little margin there. So we're just good to go in this one. Don't be afraid to put lubriplate or break-in grease on everything. Make sure that everything is well lubed. And actually, it's okay. Now when you get the lifters usually come with the adjustment screw all the way out to the top. So if in fact you want to save yourself some time, you take and wind it down. Previously what I did is I put a valve in here and I wound it down, and I made myself a go no-go gauge to start out, so you get a good idea where you're going to end up initially, so you can really adjust them from there. So we're doing this here. Twist this down.
And that's going down to the go, no-go stage?
Yeah, it goes down to here.
Right,
So it matches
Here.
number 1.
right.
And after do about 3 or 4, you kind of figure out how far you can go before you have to recheck yourself. A little bit more. Okay. Now, let's see, 3 exhaust. Put the lifter into the bore, push it down in, and then usually what I'll do before I put the valve in is I made myself a nice little adjusting tool. I took a 7/16 wrench and I rounded the back of it so that it will go down in the lifter easily and adjust. And another thing I do is I cut out the block so that the tool will go down in and you don't have to turn the cam back and forth all the time. So I just make sure that's nice and free. Okay, now we'll wiggle this in. Start putting that down a little bit there. You gotta get the spring. Get the tool down into the groove of the guide. And then you pull it down tight. And then you put the keeper in. And give it a couple of those, make sure everything seats. And then when I'm done, I give it one of these to make sure the keeper seated. Okay, now we're ready for the final adjustment on the valve. This is this particular cam, this is a Junior 400, and I adjust the valves at 14 in the exhaust and 12 in the intake.
So that's
Okay.
Iskandarian. Husky
This
makes
is an
the Junior
Iskandarian.
400, yeah.
Alright, so we get to 14, and what I do is I get a feeler gauge. I get two of them. I mark one at 14 and one at 12, so you don't have to go completely change them. So I have two gauges, an intake and an exhaust. And then it's loose, so what we do is we've drilled into the lifter galleys of the slot to accept this little tool. Then we turn this until the tool slips into the slot in the lifter, which locks the lifter down. Now we give it a little bit of a turn. Go again on the, oh, a little loose yet. Just a little bit more. All you want to do is have a little bit of drag on the lifter. Feel that one, John. That one's absolutely perfect. Feel how that. Feel that little bit of drag.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That's just exactly the way it should be. Just a little bit.